So good morning everyone. My name is Arslan and you are watching Proper Tech Tutorial. So welcome back to the series of learning Siemens Linux from beginner to pro. And today we'll be starting the part navigator, that is part 26 of our series. So I'll just let you go through the syllabus and I'll recapitulate everything that we have studied till now. So first of all, the thing which we have studied is that the UI or the user interface or the roles option that we have studied. So first part 1 and part 2 included like what are the like benefits of the using Siemens NX and how to create a mindset of learning Siemens NX. After that, in part 3 till part 7 we studied about how to display, or till part 8 we studied about the user interface, the resource bars, the border bars, the ribbon customization, the how to create custom role, and what are the best preferences, the user defaults that should be selected. So these things include something which allows you to use the Siemens NX much more easily and much more feasibly. Now coming to part 9 and part 10 included, this is also a part of user interface, but it has like some things which are regularly used in a model and an assembly find and in a sketch environment. So these things are somewhat part of user interface as well as part of the later on coming lectures. So this is like pseudo user interface section. After that, in from part 11 till part uh, 18, I think. Yeah, till part 18. From part 11 to part 18, we studied about the sketch environment, like how to create datum related things, axis, plane, coordinate system, and how to create a sketch, how to edit a sketch, like directly edit and edit with rollback, and how to create a sketch in task environment. What are the important options that are available while like you want to create a sketch environment. Then we studied about some basic curves, then some advanced curves. Advanced curves were divided into four categories like cone, like first, second, third, and fourth. Like somewhat similar are grouped together, like pattern curve, linear, circular, offset, mirror, project, intersection. Somewhat similar because it allows you to create a copy of that particular curve that is being selected. And intersection allows you to make a part of the part or the part of the that curve as a copy. Project curves allows you to make the whole as a copy in particular sketch environment or on a particular plane. Mirror allows you to copy that with reference to a plane. Offset allows you to copy that in a linear or circular manner. After that, we and also in part 2 we studied it, or part 14 of 38 we studied about like creating somewhat modified lines such as derived, fillet, chamfer, trim, extend, and corner, and conic, ellipse, and polygon, that are somewhat like advanced types of curves that were discussed in advanced curves part 1, that is part 13 of the 38 of our series. In part 17 and part 18 were discussed about the types of constraints and how do we apply them, and what are the various methods in which constraints can be used, and how the dimensional constraints sometimes overthrow the geometric constraints, and how the geometric constraints allow us to get to the dimensional part easily but are not always fixed or are not always superlative. Then we came to the modeling part, that is overview, and then we learned about the sketch based modeling. So from part 19 till part 26, that is what we are studying today, is the part of modeling. It includes sketch based modeling tools, it includes Boolean operations, it includes part 22, that is the feature based modeling tools, like somewhat the simpler ones are grouped in part 1 or part 22 of 38, then somewhat difficult are part 2, then more difficult part 3, then finally pattern are part 4. Now coming to the last part of modeling, that is part 26 of 38, that is part navigator. So now we'll start with the part navigator without any delay. The first thing that is available is the part navigator itself, the model history, and feature reorder. So part navigator is nothing but on that the thing that is, or the option that is available, the resource that is available in the left border bar. And as you know, in our section of the border bars, we studied that the left border bar and the resource bar are somewhat same, and the top border bar over here, the bottom border bar over here, and the right border bar over here. In the resource bar, you will have certain icons that are available, and when you will hover over them, you will have the label of that as visible. So Part Navigator is this particular resource that we are using till the modeling part, and in our assembly part also we can use that, but till the modeling part it is somewhat like the core thing that which we use. So this is the Part Navigator, including the history, model views, cameras, model history, etc. So the model views and cameras have been like studied previously in the user interface part, like model display, style, and view manipulation. This thing is discussed in that. Also, some part is discussed in the part 6. So part 6, 7, 8 basically deal with the resource bar in partial manner. So if you watch all the three, you will get all the things that are there available in the model views and cameras, and how you can change the camera angle and type of camera view. That is either it can be perspective or non-perspective. Next, we come to the part of the model history. So model history is the section in the resource bar or the part navigator that allows you to see all the feature operations that have occurred in that particular file or that particular window. So first thing was the block, then the cone and hole and so on. So it enlists all of them in a chronological fashion. And we also learned about how to reorder them, how to hide them. You can just hide it from here, or you can unhide it from here. So like if you will hide the parent, the feature, and that feature is somewhat like parent to another thing or related to another thing, it will hide all of it. So in order to unhide that, you will have to select the latest one. So when you will select the latest one, you will have that thing available. Okay. So when I selected this particular mirror face, it allowed me to unhide or show all of its previous parent features. Like this mirror feature is possible only because of this particular mirror, this particular thing. This particular thing is possible only because of extrude. That is possible because of sketch. This particular cylinder shape is possible because of the trim body, and that is possible because of the cylinder operation, that is possible because of the block operation, and so on. So all of this will be visible or unhidden when you click on the latest feature. But if I will hide that last feature, it will also hide all of the previous related features. So that is also one thing. Another thing is that if you only want to hide one thing, or like hide only the parents, you can just click on the hide parents and it will hide the parents. So this thing is, since it is not a parent, it will not be hidden. So this is also a feature that is available. If you want to delete that, you can just click on this cross button, or you can just click on that particular thing and press the delete button on your keyboard, and it will delete everything. After that, what you can do is that you can just click on the right click and you can click on delete over here. So there are three methods of deleting that. Next, what you can do is that you can just suppress a particular thing. For example, I want to, like, I have this particular pattern feature, and these are the various instances that are available. So I will show you all of the instances, and this particular instance, for example, I do not want that. So I'll just click over here and I will click on suppress, and you will see that that particular feature has been suppressed in its original, as well as the thing which was used to pattern that. Okay. However, if I do not pattern, like I unsuppress that and I just click over here, so I will not be able to select that particular thing over here, because this thing was patterned using the pattern geometry. So this is something which you need to understand. Also, we can reorder features. For example, you can see that this particular pattern feature and this particular pattern feature are totally independent of each other. So I can just take this pattern feature and I can place it over here, So I'm not, this is not possible. Or what you can do is that I can take this pattern feature and place it over here. And there is a dependency. Okay, there is a dependency between the whole. Yeah, now we have reordered that, but I cannot reorder this particular feature behind this or before this whole, because that is a parent feature. So while reordering, the only thing that you need to understand is that you cannot reorder one particular thing before its parent. You understand that? So for example, this shell is done on that particular this body, that is a mirror feature, and that particular mirror feature is possible because of another cube or block that is available. Okay, so I cannot I cannot reorder that particular shell before that, or I cannot reorder that particular block or pattern feature after that. So this thing is to be considered. After that, what we wanted to study was, that is the the part navigator, the model history that has been understood, and the feature reorder. So reorder is somewhat only this, such as you see that most of the things like this block is totally independent of other ones, because it is neither a mirror feature, neither a pattern feature, nor it has any operations that are part of any other thing. So I can take this block, I can take this draft to its first instance. For example, just after the datum coordinate system, I can take it over here. Also, I can take that draft which was there, and I can take that just after the block that we took. I cannot take it before that, I have to take it after that. So this draft and this block are only possible because they are independent, and I can just shift it from the last to the first. I cannot shift the draft before the block, because that draft is only possible because the block exists and the thing cannot be reordered in such a fashion. So reordering only has you to make sure that you do not reorder anything before its parent, and the parent is not reordered after its child. So that is something. So this is the model history that was now studied, and with this we come to an end of our part 26, and in the next video we will be starting the part 27 till part 38. We will be starting the assembly. We'll be starting the assembly part of Siemens NX, starting with the assembly overview, how to create assembly, what are the constraints and what is the use of a constraint, and how do we apply some of the constraints like basic assembly constraints and advanced assembly constraints. There is an option that is very easy for the user, that is remember assembly constraints, and that will also be discussed. And then how do we use pattern in an assembly, and how do we use create an exploded view. So that will be discussed in later on sections. And till the next time we meet, I would request you to please subscribe to our channel and like our videos in case you find them good and the quality is okay. If you find them useful, do share it with your friends. And in case you have any suggestions, comment in our comment section and we'll definitely respond to that. So till the next time we meet, goodbye.